Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update for everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. So today is October 19th. This is episode 60 of Rocket Fuel, and we're going to jump right in. So we had this comment from Grey Wizard. Okay, before I start about this, this discussion went on for hours, like literally hours. So I'm not going to recount all of it. There were some amazing points made and huge amounts of discussion that have happened. Also, this is a topic that has been discussed many times before, so there might be some stuff that you don't find that new here, but it was really like took over trading today, so I have to cover it. So we'll start with this comment by Grey Wizard, who said, anyone know what the general plan for LEB8 is here? I'm a little behind. 2 questions. Will people have an opportunity to switch their mini pools from 16 version to 8 version? Or is it just for newly created mini pools? Also, when? So, Nosha replied saying, yes, you'll be able to convert your existing mini pool LEB8 and receive credit, which you can use to create new LEBs. You'll have to go through the queue on the second part. It'll be part of the next upgrade, Atlas. Don't have a date yet, but there was some talk they may be looking to send it to audit pretty soon. I think depending on the Ethereum hard fork timing, I'm thinking Q1 2023 at the earliest. I personally think December at the earliest, but Q1 2023 is more likely. Grey Wizard says thank you. So this kind of like started off a discussion about Invis said, can we do this mini pool splitting each time we run into a mini pool supply issue? Sounds like infinite scaling potential. So basically the idea is that by splitting to 8, it'll give us liftoff for 288,000 more rETH being able to be staked right away without any new node operators coming online. And then if you split to LEB4s, then with the existing, from where we are now, we could have 750,000 rETH more lifted without adding another single node operator, provided they all had RPL collateral, which almost the vast majority of our people do. The average collateral is 80%, so everyone would be able to work with that, which is amazing. So it's not quite infinite scaling potential, but it would basically take us up to, well, I guess with two LEB2s, that would add, from where we are now, it would add 1.75 million. So that is pretty much like infinite scaling potential. I really hope that happens. So because you wouldn't even need that much more RPL worth, So this discussion went on for a while, and people were talking about when we might reach 0 ETH plus 3.2 ETH worth of RPL and how that might look. And that discussion kind of went on for a while in the morning, and then in the afternoon, a few hours later, Lion Trader asked Maso. He said, Maso, what are your thoughts on LEB 0 ETH pools? Essentially use the rETH to create pools which are run on existing node operators pools. Obviously a higher RPL collateral will be required, but would be immediately solve our scaling issue. And then Invis said, why would it solve our scaling issue? The user now has to lock up more RPL. RPL ain't free. So the thing is, like, with the amount of RPL that we have already staked, I think 7.5 million, that would be able to lift like a whole lot of ETH. So it would be like, I can't even do the math in my head. That's how much it is. So Maso says, hugely supportive. This is no brainer in my opinion. It'd create a ton more mini pools if Rocket Pool would let me. And like me too, right? As soon as the 8 ETH mini pools go live, I'm going to switch mine. And then as soon as the 4 ETH goes live, then I'll switch it again. And 2 ETH, I'll switch it again. And at 0 ETH, I will max out as many mini pools I could possibly create with the RPL that I have. So I'm in the same boat as Marceau here, but this really did start a huge discussion, and Donny was one of the people who kept coming back and making points, and Valdorf was another person who was kind of like going back and forth with those points with Donny, and Lion Trader was making points, and 0x numbers turned up. Noshua was there. There were a lot there was a lot of discussion that happened. Like, it literally went on for hours. So I'm not in a position where I could like summarize that for you. But if you're curious to see how that went, then go back and read it. It was from this afternoon at around 12:30 in the afternoon Eastern time. So depending on where you are in Europe, that'll be a different time for you. But yeah, I think it was a really good discussion. Some of the things that were talked about are things that we've already talked about before, so they might not be new for people who either watch Rocket Fuel every day or are in trading every day. You've probably come across these ideas and thoughts before, but it's good to hash out like what it might be like. I'm really excited about LEBs, like really excited about LEBs. I think they're going to be like a game changer for Rocket Pool. I think 8 ETH will happen in the next 4 to 5 months, and I think 6 months after that, or maybe, well, depending on when, well, it depends on forced exits really. I think we can get 4 ETH through without forced exits, but it might be that the team wants to wait for forced exits just to make sure everything is okay, and that will require an Ethereum level, like actual Ethereum level EIP that would need to be hard coded into the base layer of the network for that to happen. So yeah, there's a long way to go for that. Let me see. Oh, so the next thing that happened was some whale games. So Marceau shared, sorry about the beeping, my messages are blowing up. Anyway, Marceau shared this screen capture of a deposit pool where it said 200 ETH was deposited into the deposit pool, and then when you see the sender, it had like a whole bunch of whales with their name. So and that person had 20,000 ETH in their wallet. So what's going on? Let's have a look. Trading got really excited about it and was like thinking that this person would deposit a lot, like more into the deposit pool or buy on 1inch. It turned out that it looks like this person had 150,000 ETH from Genesis. So that's a whole lot of ETH, like over $1 billion worth of ETH, which, you know, that's incredible. It would make them one of the biggest ETH holders, at least top 10. I think that's even more ETH than Vitalik has. So this person has a whole lot, and this is the first thing they've done. They made their wallet active for the first time, and that was 66 days ago. And since Genesis, they became active, and they're like trying to like divide things up. And this is the first thing that they did, was they bought rETH with their ETH in that time. So that's really cool. And then Sleety a little bit later said that Big Wallet is doing stuff with STETH on 1inch. So STETH is Lido's staking token, and then that brought up like comments from Peteris, and and they said, I blame Marceau. And then there were some screenshots shared of them buying stuff from there, and then they went digging as well later. And then Marceau was saying, we desperately need to be able to ingest crazy amounts of ETH, like 50,000, otherwise the whales are just going to go elsewhere, and the LEBs will help us get there. So that's a really interesting sentiment. I think the idea was that 5% of our ETH mint that we have would go towards the deposit pool, and the deposit pool moved up from 2,000 ETH to 5,000 ETH a few months ago, but I don't think it's going to take too much longer for it to move up to 10,000 ETH. And once that happens, it'll allow us to take on board some more rETH, some more ETH for rETH, which would be really great. We really need to see that. And then one of the things that happened was the person went and actually bought a big chunk of rETH. Again, they were buying rETH, they were buying STETH. So if you have a look at the premium now, this is the highest premium I've seen in a while. It's 0.347 on secondary markets. So you'd have to pay extra now to buy rETH on the secondary market. So that's really interesting. And the STETH, the WSTETH discount is getting smaller as well, so that's coming back into positive. That might head to positive numbers soon, which is amazing for people who bought when it was like 8% discount a few months ago. They'll have made a killing on that. But that's definitely making things interesting. And then Petrus has this update of what the whale kind of did, and he said 150,000 ETH whale swapped 100 ETH for rETH on 1 inch, tried to deposit 34 ETH, but transaction reverted because the deposit pool was full. Swapped 160 ETH for rETH on Paraswap, deposited 22 ETH, swapped 12 ETH for rETH on Paraswap, swapped 2,990 ETH for WST ETH on 1 inch. They're using Paraswap, so people kind of like digging around what this person is doing. And if you're watching this, please become a node operator. It's more profitable for you. It's more profitable for everyone. That would be really nice. So let's do that, please. Let's move on from there. We had this really great comment from rpl.eth, Edward Wrenchhands. He said, for what it's worth, so this person owns the ENS rpl.eth, which is really cool. It says, for your information, for those that remember my rpl.eth subdomains thread, I've decided to give these out for free. I pay gas when it's cheap for creation and foot the bill for the yearly domain. I really like the pcc.eth community and how much reach they have. And then there's a link to a tweet from Bromhill. This is, all of these are real Twitter accounts, and there were like hundreds of people with their name and then .pcc.eth. So Edward Wrenchhand says, and I want RPL to have the same, so I figured I'd announce it before the 8 ETH change and the community gets larger. Add your desired name in the thread, and when I get the chance, I'll create it and react under the message when it's done. I don't actively do much for the community, so this is my way of starting. So there was a tweet that they put out as well, but it's not linked here, and I forgot to open it up for you guys. But yeah, it's a really cool thing that they're doing. And on their tweet, I replied that I would love to have whackwhackattack.rpl.eth. Maybe that will work out. I'm not sure, but that's really nice of them to offer that. So I hope people sign up for it. I think it'd be really cool. I think we just need a few people to like get it going, and then everyone else will want it as well. But gas is getting more expensive, so it's really great that, you know, they've offered to do this, because it might end up costing them a fair bit. So thank you so much for that, and I hope it works out well. Okay, next we have this comment from Meek, who said, do we have any estimates on average yield for priority tips and MEV per validator at this time? So then Valdorf used the smoothie bot, and on there it says that now we have 71.16% of nodes are in the smoothing pool, and 45% of mini pools are in there, which is 4,055. So that's a lot of validators in there. And this rewards period so far, which was 20 days and 15 hours so far, has 122.2 ETH in there. It's a little bit more now, but this, like, from the time that I'm reading this comment, because they did some math. Valdo did some math that was a bit wrong. So Noshua came back and corrected it. So basically it's 0.75, which is your your rewards percentage at 15% commission, and then times multiplied by 122.2 ETH divided by 4,055, which is the amount in the smoothing pool divided by the number of mini pools, and then multiplied by 365, which is the days of the year, divided by 20.5, which is how many days we've had in this rewards period so far. So it turns out that for a year you will get 0.575 ETH at current reward rates. However, we're in the depths of a bear market. If the bull market comes back soon, gas prices are going to skyrocket. Gas prices skyrocket, people start paying more in tips, people start paying more in MEV to try to get their transactions through. That number could potentially go up very nicely, but then that might be countered by more people coming online, so more new nodes coming online, so the rewards might go down there. That's really interesting that we'll end up getting, I think, let me just work out how much we'll be getting this month. If you are in the smoothing pool and your your if you're in the smoothing pool and your quality of your attestations is good, then you will get 13. You will get 0.044 ETH per rewards period, which is really nice. I think that's really nice that you will get that. So that's really cool. Let's move on from there. So Maverick had this this Google Doc link. It says conversion of excess collateral to LEBs, and then there's a link to a spreadsheet, and that spreadsheet was created by Find Your Moon, who obviously is the king of the Moon's Elliott Waves thread, which is amazing. Like I check it out all the time. I really like it. So thanks Moon for all the work you're doing there. But it says, thanks Mav, let me know what you guys think, and if you have any questions. The spreadsheet basically calculates incremental RPL ETH ratios at which you can convert excess RPL to 150% LEBs. You can adjust your current staking stats and the LEB configuration. So then there's, sorry if there's parts of this that are cut off for you, but it says a few of you expressed interest in my approach and built a spreadsheet to calculate this based on the assumption of 8 plus 2.4 LEBs and the desire to cash out precisely necessary for 1 LEB, although I've allowed for the user to input the LEB and collateral amount as well as the number of LEBs per cash out. This approach does not maximize TVL via converting at the top of the RPL ETH ratio. Rather, it takes a middle ground stance that gains should be locked in frequently on the way up as to minimize the risk of trying to catch the rocket at apogee, like the peak. So then he goes with the idea of you have 5 pools, and pool size 16 ETH, total ETH is 80, so you have 5,000 RPL. The current ratio is 0.17. Current ETH equivalent RPL is 85 RPL, so that's 106%. Current total value locked you have is 165 ETH with those 5 mini pools. So then it says desired pool configuration 8 ETH, LEBs 2.4, and LEB quantity 1. I'm not sure what LEB quantity means. And then it says, oh yeah, you can like tweak these information here to kind of get different numbers. So then it gives the ratios at which you'd need to sell in order to get how many ETH you will get and how much you can actually make from that. And that goes all the way through to 0.1 ratio and how you can like play your numbers so you can get a maximum number of ETH and RPL tokens, which is really, really cool. So thanks for that, Moon. I think that might be useful for some people. Maverick pinned that on the Discord as well, so people can go and check it out in trading. So Patches just a little while ago said, scariest support case since Whack Attack almost got slashed happened today. So people are like, what happened? And Patches said a dude migrated to a new node, secure deleted his old keys, but the wallet rebuild could only recover half his keys on his new node. So Patches had to fork smart node and build it locally. So he said it was an adventure. So I said, wow, Patches, you're a superstar. And then Jackson said Patches equals GOAT. So he said, Patches said, if you're technically inclined, you can go here and read it. And then Jasper said, I wish I was. Could you describe it using a comic book metaphor? So Patches says, I think so. So I'm going to read this out for you. So Batman makes a bunch of mini pools and they're registered in Rocket storage in increasing order normally. Mini pool 0 was first, mini pool 1 was second, etc. Each of Batman's mini pools has an associated public key, which is stored on the chain. Now Batman tries to migrate to a new node. When Batman restores his wallet, it gets the mini pools in order from the chain and starts blindly deriving keys from the seed in the same order that would have been derived originally. However, for each subsequent mini pool it recovers, it remembers that the last key it derived and restarts from there to save time. Because mini pools were generated in order, it's logical that the keys were derived in order too, and a higher index mini pool would have a higher index key. However, that assumption seems to be incorrect. A key generated from minipool 10 might have a lower index than a key generated from minipool 9, and so on. So Batman asks Robin for help. Robin doesn't know why the assumption is bad, but he removes the assumption from the code just to see if it is the problem. And then Batman's keys are all generated. and then Patches says, "I am Robin." The end, which is really cool. Like Patches is just a fucking genius. Like, we are so lucky to have him in this community, and like, I have nothing but love for Patches. And yes, I know that this story started with him mentioning me almost getting slashed. Patches, that was months ago. Can we please move on from that now? But I think that was the scariest moment that he's had, other than people actually getting slashed, but they weren't there he wasn't there to help them with that, I guess. But yeah. Anyway, Patches, my best guess is that it has to do with replacing transactions or cancelling stuck ones. Second best guess, but much less likely, would be something weird like transaction ordering in the block. So I guess that's an extreme edge case. And yeah, thanks Patches. So that's really cool. We got this really interesting pool from Balancer. So Solar Curve links it and he says there's a new farm and there's a link to Balancer. Solar Curve and Balancer are doing some really great stuff with integration for Rocket Pool for rETH. So if you have a look over here, it says the pool value. So this is a pool for BBAUSD and rETH. BBAUSD is a boosted version of Aave's USD stablecoin, and the APR for this pool is 9,380% to 23,450% APR. At the time that Solar Curve linked it, the APR was 2.21 million. Is that right? It's 100,000. Yeah, 2.2 million to 5.5 million % APR. So that was a brand new pool at the time. There was only $66 in there, but hey, these guys are making some like crazy money for the next little while. So right now this pool is 50-50. It's got 3.16 rETH in there and 4,300 USD stablecoin boosted stuff in there. This number is going to come down really fast, but some people really like making pools with rETH, and Balancer lets you do that. And I think it's really, really great that people from that community like Solar Curve and others, you know, come into trading and tell us what's going on and try to help us make the best products possible, the best integrations possible. So this is a shout out to Balancer for the really cool work that they're doing, and I'm happy to see it that other people are getting involved with it too, because this wasn't incentivized in any way by the IMC, the Incentives Management Committee. So they're doing a really good job. And finally, we had this comment from Marceau last night, who asked Meek. He said, are you going to EthDenver, Meek? And Meek says, I plan to. And Marceau says, awesome, me too. Butter's going to make us some schnitzels. And Meek said, well, yeah. Anyway, that really got the talk going about EthDenver. And Nick Sorokish said that she's going to be there. And Hans Gruber's going to be there. And all these people are going to go. And then Woe was asking, hey, Woe, you're not other people. You're getting like a little shout out now. And yeah, Woe was like complaining that I don't mention Woe on Rocket Fuel. So hi, Woe. Anyway, Woe's saying that who's getting the Rocket Pool Airbnb for EthDenver. So then that people started like looking at these really cool places. Like this is some modern church that's been converted, which is really cool. And other people were looking at other places. So like this place, like Nick S found this spot with like really cool, like, yeah, like really nice places. So it seems like a lot of people, like Jasper says that he's going to try to go. Zero's going to go. I think Thomas went last year. A whole bunch of people went. Like, it's going to be really cool. However, sadly, I don't think I'm going to be able to go. Well, at the moment, I'm not 100% sure, but it's very likely that I won't be able to go. It would be so awesome because I've never been to an ETH conference before, and so many amazing people that I really respect and care about are going to this conference, EthDenver, next year. It's in the beginning of March, so where did I say? I said sadly I won't be able to go. So most likely, but who knows? I might be able to turn up and meet a bunch of these awesome people in person. I've met a few rocket poolers in person, but there's always more people to meet in person. So hopefully I'll be able to do that one day soon. But EthDenver was going to be really cool. I'm really happy that people are already starting to talk about it, starting to plan it, and I hope they have the best time out there. But on that note, I'm going to end this episode. I've already started gathering stuff for tomorrow's episode. These episodes are getting longer and longer. I really need to like cut down on them, but yeah, there's just so much happening. Anyway, I hope you all have a great night or morning wherever you are, and I'll see you all tomorrow. I'll actually be back tomorrow morning, back to my usual time, because these last couple of days I've had stuff going on during the day, but tomorrow I'll be back at my usual time. So I'll see you in about 13 hours time. So tomorrow will be a short episode probably. Anyway, have a great night and day, everyone. Bye.